What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Baker's DIY Lifestyle. So we are getting back at it with some cars right now while we're in the winter time, and winter has finally come to North Carolina. It's like 40 degrees out here. It was down in the 20s a couple nights ago, so winter has finally came almost at the end of January, but that's just how it goes around here. So today I'm going to be working on a car that my dad actually just went and bought. So it was a buddy that he knew from work. The guy was in it, it got rear-ended, and it shoved him into the car in front of him and totaled the car. He bought it back from the insurance company, didn't want to fix it, and now sold it to my dad. So we are going to tear this thing apart and see if we can't fix it and flip it, make a little money off of it. So the car that we've got today is this gorgeous 2008 Mustang GT, and it is the California Special model. It's also a convertible, so some people love it, some people don't, but this thing is super clean, and I'm gonna walk you around, show you what the damage is, show you what we're gonna have to fix. Then I'm gonna pull it into the garage and start tearing this thing apart and see if we can't get everything off of it today. That way I can get all the parts ordered, and then next time I will be putting everything back together so we can get this thing sold. So here's the car, and you can see right here where it got shoved up into the car in front of it. It definitely got the bumper pretty good. It did crack the upper grille. The lower grille is completely gone. I guess it probably got busted and knocked out. So you can see the hood right here has a bend in it, and we do have another hood that we can put on it, so we'll get all that fixed. But walking around the car, there is absolutely no damage anywhere else on the car. It is a gorgeous car. It's in great shape. The only thing really that happened to it was all that cosmetic stuff where it got hit. So right here on the back, you can see where it got scuffed up. So this was the initial hit. It did crack the bumper there. It's definitely all scarred up just where it got shoved up. Luckily it's not dented, so there might be a way to patch that, sand it down completely smooth and repaint it. But once I get it apart, I'll look farther into that. I'm gonna pop the hood here and show you the damage to the radiator support. All right, so now looking up in here, you can see exactly where the car took the hit. So it got hit right here and shoved that whole support back. And you can see when you look up at it right here, this is actually supposed to be more flat across the front of the car. And you can see how it makes a nice little S curve there as it comes back to this side. So right here, coming from this bolt out, seems to look pretty straight, and right here looks like a crumple zone. And you can tell right here where the support is, it bent right on the edge of that weld. So that whole radiator support is definitely gonna have to be replaced. If it wasn't bent like so many different places and also creased and pushed back where the horn and that headlight is, I probably would have tried to straighten it out. But being that I'm gonna have to wiggle with that, mess with the hood latch, try to pull all that stuff out, it's just gonna be easier to take everything off of the car, unbolt that support, and replace it. So that right there is pretty much an overview of the vehicle. That's all the stuff that we're gonna have to get. My dad said the radiator does have a little pinhole in the top of it, so I'm hoping taking everything apart, we can get away with just some cosmetic stuff and a radiator and get this thing back on the road. So I'm gonna get it cranked up, get it pulled in the garage where it's a little bit warmer, and we'll start tearing this thing apart. All right, so we got this bad boy in the garage. Now the first thing that I'm gonna start working on is getting this front bumper off, then getting the grill out, getting the headlights off, basically just tearing the whole front end of the car off. And then I can get in there and see exactly what I have to do in order to get that front radiator support off. From what I can tell, it looks like it's just bolted on. I think there's bolts right here at the front of the fenders. And I'm sure there's stuff down on the bottom of the frame somewhere that's got it bolted on as well. But as long as I can get all of this stuff off the front, get that radiator support out, make sure the AC condenser isn't busted as well, which I don't think it is, but I'll have to get it apart just to look at it, and get the radiator pulled out. Basically just get everything off the front of the car. Then I can start ordering parts, and then I'll start putting it back together. All right, so I think the verdict right now is I'm going to go ahead and order this radiator support, go ahead and get that in. That way I know which spot welds I have to drill out. Basically at this point, all I've done is taken the whole front bumper off, got rid of the headlights. I've taken every bolt I could find out of the front of this header panel, all the wire looms and the hood latch. I've pulled all of that stuff out. So hopefully there's nothing else connected to that header panel. And again, I don't know exactly how far back I need to go right here on the fender. I removed one bolt, but then it's kind of multi-layered right there with the fender, the inner fender, the outer fender, and the header panel. So for me, I don't want to accidentally go drilling spot welds that don't need drilled. So I'm gonna go ahead and order the new one. That way I can look at it, see exactly where the holes are and exactly where it connects. Because the same way down there on the bottom of the frame, it's kind of the same way. I don't know exactly which spot welds to drill and how far down it actually goes. But as of right now, I would say the first day is definitely a success. I've got everything pulled off that I wanted to. If the header panel was bolted in, I definitely would have already had it apart even farther and got the radiator out. But I'm gonna go ahead and order those parts. The next time you see me, we'll be swapping out this header panel, swapping out the radiator, and making sure there's no other damage underneath basically this piece right here that you can see that's bent. So that's probably going to be it for this segment, depending on how long the video is. That's all I've got for today. Thank you guys for watching and checking this video out. Be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of this restoration on this car to see the finished product. So this is definitely going to be an exciting build, and I'm excited to have it on the channel. But with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.